The Astronomer's Journey, Chapter 3, Rockfest. Good morning, Rockfest! Day 2, you made it. You're where the party's at, and do we have a lineup for you today? A carnival voice said over a scratchy PA system at max volume. It startled Adam. He snapped to his elbows and looked around, bewildered. He was still in the tent from last night, but everything else was different. His body felt heavier, longer. In the moment he said, "What the fuck?" he knew he was older now. This was a different memory. This was Rockfest. Carnival PA voice guy laughed with his radio host partner. And if that ain't enough, we also got 7 Mary 3, Stayed, and Puddle of Mud. So get your spot on the hill early, and don't eat the brown acid. More laughter and housekeeping announcements. Adam rose. He put his eye to the tent door and peered outside, and the combined smell of cannabis and sod brought it all rushing back. The thousands of concert fans, the fields covered in tents and RVs, the thin pillars of smoke, the cookouts and mud and beer, the continuous party. He pulled back. Dean's sleeping bag, empty. Standing there, alone in the tent surrounded by thousands of people in a coma dream, he took stock of the situation, counting the facts with his fingers. Dean was the only guide he had in this place. Death stalked him. Dean seemed to know how this place worked. Dean had a car. Got to find Dean. He listened to all the voices around him, the campers in his vicinity, the people walking by his tent. No Dean. Where the hell is he? He remembered how Dean disappeared several times during Rockfest in their 20s. There was just too much going on, and Dean had to be a part of it all. He wanted to know everybody, and everybody loved Party Dean. Party Dean wore mirrored sunglasses, and he was tall and lean like a scarecrow in a Budweiser t-shirt, and he made everyone laugh. Adam flattened his hair and set out to find him. He stepped out of his tent into the morning sunlight. The grass was thick and trampled and brown, seething with humidity. The campsite next to him was a scene of breakfast and hangovers. A jubilant dog ran by. Adam followed its path down the slope toward the main stage. It wasn't too long before he heard Dean's voice. "Boss, over here!" He was sitting at a picnic table in the back of a pickup truck, eating flapjacks. The morning sun was behind him, burnishing a gold halo in his hair. "What are you doing?" Adam hid his immense relief. "Breakfast, don't you remember? Come on, have some." Adam did remember, but he didn't care. He climbed into the pickup truck and sat at the table opposite Dean. "Where's the car? We should get going." "It's in the lot, I know. We will. Just have breakfast, man, Jesus." Adam realized he was hungry. How? He wondered how they were feeding him upstairs. A tube? "You remember that girl I was with the night before this?" Dean asked, forking into a flapjack. "Man, she was crazy. She was one of those goth girls. She took my clothes and ran off. I had to run around like a crazy man, buck naked, asking for her. Only I didn't remember her name, and I had to explain everything with my dong hanging out in the breeze." He laughed in a big way. Yes, I remember. Adam remembered breakfast in the pickup truck better. Their elevated position provided a fine view of the campsite and the hill leading down to the stage. It all looked monumental in the tan haze of humanity. Thousands gathered in the field for a rock show, something like the Roman Colosseum at a distance. "I wonder where she is." Dean sat for a moment thinking, chewing. "Hey, could my man here have some breakfast too?" "Sure," said a sunny girl near the fire. "I can't remember where it is," said Adam. I know it was in one of those back parking lots. I know just where it is, boss, don't you worry. How did we get here? Memories are like islands in this trip of yours, my man. We were talking about this gig right before you zonked out. You were thinking about it. Now here we are. The girl carried a plate and 2 coffee cups to the truck. She was a pretty mixture of country girl and hippie, a sundress and combat boots. Here you go, she said, handing them the plates and cups. We're out of coffee, so I made you some tea. This here is cinnamon, said Dean with pride, as if he made her. Cinnamon? Yep. Lots of people call me Sin for short. Thanks, Sin. Welcome. We got plenty. Dean winked at her. Ain't these flapjacks the best? They're great. Any signs of that storm? Nope. Clear as a bell. And the weatherman says so too, for the next 2 days. That was a lie. Awesome. Awesome? That's it? Awesome? We're at Rockfest, boss. This shit is fun. Let's stay for a bit. A frisbee sailed by. I'm in a coma, Dean. I have a daughter. I have to wake the fuck up before they pull the plug on me. Okay, Jesus, we'll go. Just have breakfast. We'll go. A shirtless, heavyset guy clambered into the truck and sat at the picnic table next to Dean, rocking the whole affair and clunking his boots on the metal and slapping his plate of flapjacks on the table. He looked like he arrived by swamp boat, sweaty with an iron cross tattooed on his bicep, something drawn into his skin from a dark place you can only imagine. What's up, Mike? Hey, this is Mike. Hey, Adam said. Sup, man? Tommy can make some flapjacks, eh, Dino? Fucking A, man. Those are some killer flapjacks, Jack. They laughed. Adam downed his tea. So I was in the mosh pit last night, Mike said, and I look over, and I see this cat flopping on the ground, doing the fish fry. Know what I mean? Yeah, said Dean. The fish fry. I was doing that shit last New Year's. Mike's laugh was marinated in the Chippewa Valley Correctional Yard for the last 3 to 5. Yeah, well, this dude wasn't doing no fish fry. He was tweaking out on Molly, man. And when he started foaming out the mouth, I was like, oh shit. We had to get up out of there, man. They was coming with the paramedics and I was riding dirty, you know? That's the last thing my PO needs to hear. That's crazy. Goddamn, said Dean. Hope he was okay. Oh yeah, he was fine. I heard they pumped his stomach right there on the hill. Some crazy shit. But hey man, that Shinedown set was fire though, right? Yeah, Dean winked at Adam. He lit a cigarette. Mike regaled them with another story about a guy selling nitrous oxide out of his van, and the twirling dervishes from the Dead shows, and the topless girl in the mosh pit. Nearing the end of this tale, he eyed Adam's coffee cup with a raised eyebrow. You didn't drink Sin's tea, did you? What? Yeah. Why? Oh man. Mike covered his mouth with his hand. Oh man. You too, Dino? Well, yeah. That's all she had. Oh man. Mike laughed treacherously. Well, my boys, you two are in for a magical day, because that was some of the finest mescaline tea in the Midwest. The next part of the dream was a jumble, a cacophony of panicked moments flashing by at every angle. The news burned down Adam's throat and cast the whole dream into a montage of shouting and heated argument and bright adrenaline. Adam kept saying, "What the fuck? And who does that?" He pointed at the girl. "What the fuck is wrong with you?" This upset Cinnamon's boyfriend, another Jesus swamp creature, and he rose from his camp chair. "What the fuck you say to her?" Seeing the imminent danger to Adam's well-being, Dean tried to calm everyone down, but he was failing in his special, janky way. "Look, everybody calm down. He's just upset. He didn't mean it." "The hell I don't mean it. She just dosed us. Who the fuck does that?" "He told me to do it," said Cinnamon, pointing a spoon at Dean. "What?" "What?" said Dean. No way, man, she's crazy, dude, he looked at Sin. You're one crazy bitch. That did it for her boyfriend. He'd had enough insults thrown at his woman. He turned on Dean and stormed toward him, brandishing a tire iron. Go, said Dean. Seeing the camp people gather like an angry lynch mob, Adam didn't hesitate. He swung out of the picnic table and over the pickup truck rail. Mike tried to grab Dean, but he was quick and scrambled over the other side. They ran from the scene, pursued by the swampy camp people. The chase tumbled over coolers and between RVs. Adam lost a shoe when they crashed over a garbage can and kept going. The concert goers shouted at them and pointed, helping their pursuers, but Dean was smart and Adam stuck with him, watching the world rush by like a freight train as he ran. They kept breaking line of sight and changing direction. A dart left after a Winnebago, bank right after a tent, a quick dash up a hill, past a bank of porta-johns, and then hard right after a microbus to circle around. It worked. They lost them, but they kept going, running to the parking lots. Boss, I swear to God, I didn't tell her to put that in the tea. Why the hell would I do that? Because it's Rockfest, Adam said, breathless with air quotes. Because you love it here, and you want to hang out. Dude, come on. They're probably full of shit anyway. It'll be fine. Let's find the car. We'll get out of here, and everything will be fine. Seemed genuinely amused to me. I don't feel anything, do you? It's only been 10 minutes. They're crazy, boss, that's all. They're just fucking with us. Yeah, we'll see. Walking through rows of parked cars that stretched to vanishing points in every direction, they argued while the sun ascended through its morning grays to her afternoon mantle. It was already cooking the sweat out of them. Dude, I swear to God, it was over in this area, near those trees, I think. You think? God damn it, Dean. I thought you knew just where it was. Hey man, it was a long time ago, you know? Adam was about to respond, but he noticed the van he was passing took a large breath. A full inhale, bulging the sheet metal, and then an exhale in a young girl's voice. Ah. Oh fuck, Adam said. What? I think it's working. Boss, I do too. I just saw a bumblebee in a tiny spaceship, like the Jetsons. That's just great, Dean. How are we supposed to get out of here now? What do you mean? We'll find the car. It's around here somewhere. Neither of us can drive. We're tripping. Oh, don't be a pussy. It'll be fine. We'll just handle it like that Vegas story we read in Mrs. McCourt's class. Fear and Loathing? Yeah, the Great Red Shark. Only ours will be the Great Silver Camaro. The fuck we will. I can't believe you did this. Boss, I didn't do it, I swear to God. And you got to accept your situation quick, because pretty soon you'll be peaking. And you don't want a bad trip and a coma dream, do you? Dean had a point, and that point presented itself in full Technicolor 20 minutes later, when the parking lot melted into a soybean field, and the cars, giant Paleolithic plants, yearning for the sun goddess. Adam looked up and saw her, seated in lotus with light beams flowing from her hair and across the sky as if drawn by a child's crayon. The sky was construction paper, and he could feel it. They stopped at a mushroom house, which was actually a VW bug. Boss, I think you're right. We ain't going nowhere for a while. Yeah, no shit. We're fucked. Oh my God. Come on, man. Come on, okay. We have to just handle our shit. We're in this now. No thanks to you. Fuck off, it wasn't me. And that doesn't matter now. You got to hold your shit together, boss. Remember how I told you there's no storms for a few days? Well, it's true. It wasn't. I heard it on the radio just before you found me. We'll be fine. The best thing we can do right now is try our best to enjoy the show and head out when we can see straight. Adam wanted to reply, Something about how this was all his fault. But Dean's face warped like a funhouse mirror when he said straight, and Adam fell and laughed and laughed. They laughed for what felt like 20 minutes, when actually it was 3. Time had no meaning. Relativity be damned. The older version of himself knew he was in for the ride. He'd bought the ticket. He just had no idea how much of a ride, given the god-level dose Cinnamon poured into their tea. He was in the gravity slingshot for the next 10 or more hours. It was either lean into it and ride it through, or let the hydrogen bomb brewing inside consume you. He chose the farmer. "Let's go to the show," he said. "That a boy! Woo!" "You're not forgiven, but let's go. Fuck." They left the VW Mushroom House and headed toward the music. Had they been sane, it would have been a 6-minute walk across 3 parking lot fields, and they'd be on the show grounds. But they agreed it was best to stay on the perimeter, given the giant tree monster in the middle of Lot B. Adam could hear and feel its limbs stretching toward them, slowly creaking. He felt its roots gripping the earth for leverage as it reached for them. "Just keep moving," he said. They circumnavigated away from the music, in wrong directions, in circles. "Man, I told you it was left back there. Here's that Buick again. Fuck." "Okay, where is the music?" They listened. 2 acid freaks in a field, in a maze of cars. A dragonfly buzzed Dean, and he jerked down wildly, flailing his arms. Adam laughed, and it spread to Dean, and their laughs bounced off the cars, creating an echo chamber of madness under the coloring book sky. The sun laughed with them, and they laughed like this for several minutes, red-faced, veins bulging, and then it all stopped suddenly, leaving them in the parking lot with a desolate wind from Kansas. "This way," said Dean. But it wasn't that way. Dean led them back to the giant tree monster in Lot B. They stared at it in disbelief from a safe, gray distance. A naked, knotted ancient from the Iron Age, it swayed as the wind wrapped around them. Adam could feel pulsing under his bare foot, and he noticed pink buds emerge on the tree's stretching branches. They opened into blood flowers, which bloomed into human babies, writhing in their petals. He realized the pulsing he felt under his foot was the babies, pumping up from the deep earth through the tree's ovaries. They opened into adults of all flesh colors and swayed in the wind, enthralling Adam for an eternity. The sky crayons turned autumn gray and orange, and the leaf people withered to husks and fell from the tree, silently floating to the ground and melting back into the planet. Adam ran away. He ran until his panic overwhelmed him and forced him to kneel, which wasn't long. Dean ran up to catch him. "Yo, wait up, boss. What's wrong?" "I just need to chill out somewhere peaceful and get the fuck out of this lot." Dean paused, studying Adam for a rare, serious moment. "Okay," he said, scanning their surroundings like a first responder. He spotted a small group of cheerful suburban kids on their way to the show. "Let's get out of here." Dean pulled him up. They followed the suburbanites out. The boys barely got past the security staff at the entrance gates, given their dubious condition. But they had hand stamps and security wanted to get it over with, so they let them in with a raised eyebrow and a warning. "Absolutely, officer," said Dean. "Model citizens." He smiled, bowing away. "Drink some water, sir." Once on the show grounds, Dean had his bearings. He scanned the field below them like an artist general in mirrored sunglasses. Reflected in the lenses, just above his smile, concert chaos. Wiggling dancers, thousands, the mosh pit. The live music thundering from the stage was primal and massive. The mescaline made the place much larger than Adam remembered. This was on a biblical scale, as if Jimi Hendrix had conjured all three Woodstocks to the hill with the Star-Spangled Banner. The natural amphitheater wrapped away from them, gargantuan and covered with a haze of people. Over there, up on the left, Dean pointed, nice and quiet. Adam followed Dean through the chaos, smiling nervously and apologizing as he slipped past the frenzied revelers. They walked under a girl who was dancing on a speaker. Her serpentine moves and blonde hair, luminous in the sunshine, transcended her into a brilliant angel, 90 feet tall. She swept the clouds with her pink fingertips and smiled lovingly down upon them. Dean yanked him away. Come on. By some miracle, they found a patch of empty grass on the hill and sat there. A nervous breakdown rattled through Adam. The band was doing a grunge Beatles medley, and their music poured through the speakers in rivers of paint. Blues and purples and greens washed over the crowd, blending them as they sang The Walrus. A tidal wave of serotonin ragdolled Adam to the ionosphere. He laid back and gripped the earth so she wouldn't spin him off. The colors filled him, plastered the world under a wallpaper grid of patterns, plaid, paisley, lasers. They all scorched his eyes while his brain cooked. He couldn't move as the clouds raced overhead in time-elapse, from bright blue to cotton cumulus to a tarnished mackerel sky that washed in the dusk. And as the mescaline watermark receded from its peak, a wave hissing as it folded back into the ocean, he couldn't remember anything from the past few hours. It was just static, like TV in the coat hanger days when you couldn't get the channel. Adam sat up. Dean laid there next to him, sleeping. A light rain peppered them. The concert had gone into a power ballad, and the crowd swayed with their lighters up, feeling a genuine drunken unity as they sang the chorus. For Adam, though, the unity was on another level. Each lighter was a galaxy, and he watched the cosmic filaments that connected them pulse with the music. A memory surfaced in his mind, warping the filaments into lace. It was Sarah's first night home, her second night on this planet. He was downstairs, checking the doors, and headed back to bed. Everything slowed as he passed the kitchen window. Moonlight poured through lace curtains, and an intricate pattern of shadows webbed the room. An angel slept in her crib upstairs. The silver moonlight through the lace heralded the arrival of her soul. He closed his eyes and cried, oblivious to the rain. Sometime later, Dean shook his arm. "Boss, wake up! Time to go!" "What?" "Time to go!" It was raining hard and screaming. Adam struggled, confused, trying to get a grip on the panic scrambling around him. "It's the storm, man! Come on!" They ran with the crowd, toward the parking lots and away from the freight train sound in the sky. He looked back at the field behind the stage. In the flashes of lightning and sodium lights, he watched the tornado tear through the rain. They ran for their lives with the herd of people, panicked by the howling wind. He looked up and saw spinning red and blue lights at the exit gates, as if they'd spun out of the vortex. Cops. They were yelling at people to go, 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 waving them past like madmen. All except one. As they ran by, Adam watched the lone policeman climb out of a 1950 Plymouth Concorde with New York City police livery, an Irish gorilla from the Bronx in a rain slick. Something in Adam's bone marrow drew his attention. The policeman looked right at Adam, his eyes piercing through all the chaos. "Come here, boy," he said as Adam ran by in a crowd of thousands. "Go!" Adam shouted, bringing it back to full speed. Dean yelled back, "This way! She's over here!" The policeman shook his head and walked back to his car. He opened the back door. The dog shot out like a cannonball and flew after the boys. "Go get that goddamn kid," the policeman said. "Go!" They made it to Dean's Camaro. It wasn't far, near the front of the lot, a hero waiting for them. After a panic with the keys, they clambered inside. Adam slammed his door as the dog reached them. It raked its front paws on his window, barking. Dean turned the key, and the Camaro's 454 4-barrel roared to life. The Rolling Stones' Midnight Rambler blasted through its speakers. The dog leapt back. They tore off and fishtailed across the field.